We are back with one of our legal experts, Michael Lundy, managing partner of Older, Lundy, Koch and Martino, to discuss some of the best practices for handling storm damage and what to do when it's time to file a property damage claim with your insurance company. As always, Michael, good to see you again.
Nice to see you. Thanks for having me.
How are you?
Good.
I feel like so many times, we just keep thinking of the folks in the South, and then we put ourselves in the situation. So let's even say, pre-storm. It's inevitable. We're going to be in the cone at some point. What do we need to do best to put ourselves in the best situation when it comes to insurance, potential insurance settlements?
The first thing I would say is after you've made your safety plan, you're going to want to document what you have. You do that with video and photo documentation. Take a good inventory of your house and all of your contents, and also make sure that you have a copy of your insurance plan and you understand what your coverage is.
I like the fact being able to understand, and I've actually done the video, the phone. Are there any requirements on that? Because that's something I know as a family we actually did before this time. We went around as easy as with a cell phone showing the contents of a house. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes. You really want to have a good record of your property so that in the event there's damage or destruction or loss, you're able to prove to the insurance company what you did have, because that becomes part of your claim. And
you mentioned understanding what your actual policy looks like. I'm assuming you've heard and have seen stories where people think that they're covered for something and might not be the case. So that's probably you're saying from personal experience, like, yes, this is something we need to do.
Yes, and that's something we help people with all the time. They call, we'll review somebody's policy with them at no charge so they understand the scope of their coverage. Once the storm is coming, you're not going to be able to change your coverage, but it might affect how you protect certain things. You might want to remove certain things to safety, that kind of stuff.
Good points. Okay, so say storm rolls through. You do find yourself in a situation where unfortunately you have storm damage. What is the first thing you do?
So the first thing you're going to want to do is document your loss and your damage, again, using video and photo to the extent that you can. You're also going to want to report the damage to your insurance company as quickly as possible. And timeliness is very important because sometimes an insurance company will deny a claim if you don't file it timely.
Really?
Yeah. The third thing you're going to want to do is try to mitigate your damage. You don't really want to do the repairs necessarily because you're going to need to give the insurance company an opportunity to inspect what's happened. So, for example, if you have a roof leak, you might want to get a tarp on your roof to stop the penetration of water, but you don't want to complete the roofing repair until the insurance company is able to send out somebody to inspect it.
I feel like I have this mindset where if, this was our situation, I'm putting myself in there and it had storm damage, I almost would be like, well, I know the insurance company is getting inundated right now with, requests and conversations are beginning. Maybe I should wait. You're saying that's the worst thing you can do. You need to get right in there as soon as you can.
Yep. You should call your agent. You should have that information before you leave the home.
Yeah.
You should call your agent and make that claim as quickly as you possibly can.
Again, these are all things I think you've probably seen the negative side of and also the positive side. What if that next question is, though, insurance is giving you pushback? They're not willing to repair A, B, and C. What next?
So sometimes you'll have different kinds of coverage. You might have insurance coverage for wind damage.
Yes.
You might have insurance coverage for flood damage. You might have another type of policy that provides coverage. And insurance companies can dispute which one of them should be responsible. That's really where we come in.
Okay.
If you're having any kind of difficulty getting the claim taken care of and getting the repairs and other things handled, that's where we come in. We will help you navigate that road and figure out where the coverage is supposed to be handled.
Because I've heard that debate of like, does the water rise faster or did the wind cause the damage? And so that is a debate that is hard to prove. But what about having a lawyer? Is it good to have someone like yourself on retainer? What does someone need to do to be ready to go looking forward?
So in these types of situations, we would encourage people to call us as soon as possible to review their coverage so they can understand it even before the storm.
Oh, I like that.
If there's damage, then we get involved and we don't get paid unless we are successful in getting the claim taken care of. There's also some law in Florida that allows you to pursue attorney's fees and the expenses of litigation in the event that the insurance company doesn't pay the claim correctly.
Again, conversations before the storm, though. Go ahead and set that out. I want to make sure people realize we're saying do this before the storm. And then is it a fee that people would need to look at to be able to have a retainer, or is it just one of those situations that you're just being a planner and proactive?
There's not going to be any fee before the storm for having us give you some simple advice and review your policy. And we don't really charge a fee if there is an actual problem handling the claim unless we're successful in getting the claim taken care of.
Well, I don't know about you. I like to be prepared and have a plan. That's exactly what we were able to talk about today. One more time, Michael, thank you for being with us. There's the information on your screen so you can get in touch with them today.